Welcome to this week's edition of the JetsSetter video blog series. We're going to discuss the last two preseason games, preview Carolina, and discuss the potential trade for MJD. Well, Tyson, the Jets started out 0-2. What are your thoughts about the protection, and what are your thoughts overall?
Well, the Jets' offense is struggling. That's no secret. Wayne Hunter's struggling. That's no secret. It's not good right now. The offense is, new. Sparano's installing something new, but at the same time, it's the same problems we've seen last year. And the Jets took a calculated risk with Wayne Hunter, bringing him back. They guaranteed his money. They didn't bring in a quality backup. He's struggling. They're struggling, and the offense is a mess. It's a concern. It's got to be a huge concern. And
do you see any quick fixes? I don't know how you fix an offensive line quickly, but
I mean, the Jets' point right now is that they're not game planning. So when Wayne Hunter's on an island by himself getting torched by Pierre-Paul, that's maybe could be fixed by having a guy behind him help blocking. I don't know. I mean, they're selling us a bag of goods right now, to be honest with you. You can't trade for a lineman, I don't think, because everybody in the league is looking for one. It's not like you can go say, hey, you know what, the Jets need somebody, now you can get somebody. It's not going to happen like that. So it's going to be a tough one. I think they could be in a little bit of trouble. And just say this, it's not just Wayne Hunter struggling. The line as a whole is struggling. I mean, Mangold is an all-pro, but the line as a whole is having their issues.
It almost seems like you're going to have to bring a fullback in to help with that protection, maybe even keep the tight end in.
And that's a bigger issue because we don't have a blocking tight end in the roster. Cumberland's is a receiver. Dustin Keller is a receiver. They don't have this big blocking tight end. So now they're bringing in guys like a linebacker, Nick Bellore, to be in the backfield. It's like you're almost mismanaging your roster. It's like, why don't you get the guys you need and stop playing around? I mean, you knew you needed a right tackle. You knew you needed a blocking tight end. You don't have it. Now your quarterback's getting his ass kicked. I mean, it's roster management, and right now they're having a huge problem with it.
Well, what are your thoughts about the receiving group?
Terrible. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Santonio Holmes is a legit number one. He's hurt. After that, you have a cast of characters who are all hurt. You have Curley's hurt. Chaz Schillens, I didn't like to sign to begin with, is hurt. Patrick Turner, now I think he got hurt today. I mean, your starting receivers of the Giants were Stephen Hill and Patrick Turner. Who is that going to scare?
Well, the frustrating thing was Stephen Hill got so open, Tebow hits the ground.
A bounce pass. I mean, the NFL is a passing league, and what's going to happen is the defenses are going to stack the box and say, Sanchez beat us. So he's not getting sacked, which is probably going to happen, or running for his life. Nobody's going to get open. You double Santonio Holmes. If you cover Keller, who are you throwing the ball to? If Hill and Curley can't get separation, or if they're healthy, or Schillens, I mean, it's just not a good game plan right now. And I mean, I'm not buying the whole Wildcats going to solve everything deal. You have to have a standard offense that's going to be productive, and right now it's not even close.
Now, from the bad to the worst.
Pissed off?
Yeah,
is that obvious?
From the bad to the worst. Jets are the only team without an offensive touchdown.
Oh.
What are your thoughts?
It's brutal. I mean, they should have had one, but
Well, do you blame Sanchez?
Tebow pulled out his own Charlie Ward impression and bounced it to Stephen Hill. I don't blame Sanchez at all. I'll say this. His interception, the pick six last week, was god-awful. That was terrible. But he's running for his life. The guys aren't getting open. I mean, it's a comedy of errors at this point. I mean, he's going to get happy feet, which is not what you want to see. But if you're getting pounded on, do you blame him? I mean, the same thing happened last year. You get constantly, in a five-step drop, you're getting pounded on your fourth step. It's not good. So Sanchez is getting set up to fail in my eyes. I mean, where's the help at? Where's your big go-to guy to save things? There is none. So he may not be ideal right now. He's not playing super great, but he's doing enough to get by, but he's running for his life, and he doesn't have receivers. So to me, that's just a recipe for failure. And I don't want to hear the Tebow nonsense either, because the only reason why he's doing decent is because he's running for his life as well. So,
well, I listened to a lot of the NFL guys over the last week, and they were saying, it was just a bad matchup. The Giants have that NASCAR package. It's a bad matchup for the offensive line.
Garbage.
What I'm afraid of about that is that a blueprint for every other team now to attack the Jets offense?
It's no secret. The Jets want to run the ball. Stop the run. And when you don't have playmakers as receivers, it's even easier to do it. I mean, right now, nobody's scared of Stephen Hill. Great, he's got world-class speed. Awesome. If you drop the ball, nobody's scared of you. In the slot, if you have Curley or whoever you put there at this point, unless you can prove you can make plays there, no, they're not going to be scared of you. So, I mean, that whole thing with the Giants, like, it is a blueprint. Hit the quarterback and keep hitting him until they do something about it. That's it.
Well, going into the third preseason game, if you believed in the matchup situation, the weakness of the Panthers is their secondary. They have a young linebacking core. You know, if there's a game to bounce back and get some confidence for that offense, this is the one. What are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, they're taking some heat this week. I mean, from Rex Ryan to Sperano to Sanchez, they're taking a beating in the media. By the fans as well. I mean, they didn't let Wayne Hunter practice this week in front of the fans because they're nervous about that, which, whatever about that. But they've got to show something. I mean, you got to show that your offensive line can dominate the line of scrimmage. I mean, you got to blow your blockers off get off the line, make big blocks, open holes for the running game, and then you got to do is stretch the field, play action pass. I mean, not these little 5-yard, 8-yard little dumps they're trying to do. 20 yards down the field, you've got to you got to spread the field, or you're doomed.
You know, talking about another individual that hasn't been discussed too much, but a lot of fantasy football owners want to know, how do you think Sean Green's going to do this year?
He could be huge. I mean, he could be. I mean, he's going to be your goal line back. He could put up big numbers. I mean, if you want to do ground and pound, he's going to be your guy. But, I mean, could Tebow take away some goal line carries? I don't know. I mean, it all depends. I mean, it's tough to say because Joe McKnight could come in on third down and take away some. It's just, my answer to you is I don't know. That's my answer, I guess.
Well, let's switch to the positive, the defense.
That's
the
a positive.
bread and butter of the Jets, the good.
Very good, yep.
The defense has been pretty solid so far. Is there anybody that's catching your eye?
There's a lot of guys. The first guy is Bart Scott. I mean, as everybody knows by now, I'm a huge Bart Scott fan. But he's lost the weight. He looks quick. He's attacking the ball carrier. He's attacking the quarterback. Quentin Coples has been very impressive. Constant motor. Aaron Maben looks great. Mike DeVito's been solid. And the Jets, they got playmakers everywhere. Demario Davis looks great. I mean, they're all attacking. They're hitting hard. They're being aggressive. And to be honest with you, they look like they're in shape this year. I'm not saying they were out of shape last year. Look like they look quicker. They're more aggressive.
Well, the rookie looked pretty good.
Very good. And then I'm eating crow with Laron Landry. Laron Landry put a beating on. He was just hitting everybody last week.
That hit on Cruz was brutal.
And then you have, and then like Jeremiah Bell's been good too. So they have playmakers everywhere, which is good. My concern is still covering the running back out of the backfield and the tight ends, in pass coverage. But I think Demario Davis is going to help with that. I mean, Bart Scott's going to help with that. And then Laron Landry, when he's running around like that, I mean, the sky's the limit for this Jets defense. The biggest concern is that if the offense is doing 3 and outs every friggin' time, they're going to be on the field 40 minutes a game, and then they're going to get tired. I mean, if they get the defense does their job, and the offense coughs it right back up, over time, they're going to get deflated, frustrated, and tired. So, I mean, that's my concern.
So what are your thoughts on the punter?
Oh, it never ends, bro. It never ends. I don't know. They're punters. They're replaceable. That's my. I don't.
I'll be shocked if they didn't have 3 or 4 in this week.
It's brutal, terrible.
All right. Well, going into Carolina, what are you gonna look for on the defense?
Well, it's a Cam Newton experience. I'm actually excited about this one because Cam Newton's a dynamic quarterback. He could run. He could throw, and he's not taken down easily. You got to put a licking on him, or he's gonna run you over. So it'll be interesting to see this. They can control the pocket, not let him run around. And then cover Steve Smith, which I'm sure Revis can do that. I mean, Brandon LaFell's another guy. But on offense, I think they're going to be all right. It's going to be interesting, but I think defense is going to do pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I know it's preseason, but the starter's going to probably play 3 quarters.
It's your last dress rehearsal. They're going to show some things.
It's going to be interesting to see how Revis on Steve Smith is going to look. That's fun.
It's a good matchup.
That's the best on the best.
It is. It's a good matchup. Both teams are going to game plan. They're going to try to expose some things. But I think... it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a good matchup for them.
Outstanding. All right, so the latest news all over everywhere is MJD to the Jets. First of all, do you even see this happening?
No.
Second of all, does it even make sense?
No. I mean, here's the deal. The Jets, unless Maurice Jones-Drew can play right tackle and play receiver, it makes no sense. And then it's just fantasy land. It's fantasy. Jet fans are so desperate for any kind of positive news or some big splash. You need offensive line help, right tackle. You need receivers, Plaxico or somebody. Then you got to pay Revis at some point, and you got to pay Dustin Keller. So at some point, where does Maurice Jones-Drew with his new huge contract fit in? It makes absolutely zero sense whatsoever. It's fantasy land. I mean, if you want to talk about trading for like Calvin Johnson, I'm in for that. But I mean, this is just Jet fans just desperate for something positive to happen, and it's just never going to happen.
in this day and age, I just don't believe in the big contract for a running back.
Not anymore, especially with Jones-Drew, because he's got a lot of miles on his tires. I think he's, 27 years old?
1,100 carries, I believe.
Yeah, 27 years old.
Yeah.
He's taking a pounding, and he's going to want a huge deal. So in terms of that, it makes no sense. Right? Like you said, it's a passing league now. Running backs are now going to be running back by committee.
Look at that Peterson contract. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
And he's not even playing in the preseason right now, you know?
It's running back by committee, and now you're going to invest your money in quarterbacks and receivers.
That's it.
That's where it is.
It's so interesting to watch the evolution of the game constantly.
And what you watch fantasy football. I had a draft a couple days ago. It was quarterback. After McCoy, Rice, and Foster, all receivers. I mean, it's just the league has changed.
And, and if you did fantasy football 5 years ago, if you didn't
backs.
draft your first 2 picks running backs, you were crazy.
Yeah. It's changed. So, I mean, Jet fans, I mean, we're all in the same boat. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody wants to see something happen. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. It's not looking very good right now on offense, but Jones-Drew is not the answer. Thank you for watching another JetsSetter video blog. You can check us out on Facebook, Tyson Roush, on Twitter, TRoush21. You also will be at the game this weekend, L7 Tailgate, which is always a great time. And also just want to thank Dead Serious and Frankie Perez. He's helping us out with our T-shirts. We're very excited about that. They should come out awesome. They'll be out soon, hopefully in time for the home opener. So keep your eyes out for them. I'm Tyson. That's Alf. And take care.